So we've had an incredible day today. We found something really quite special, haven't we?
Yes, and if you want to find out what it is, then you'd better come with us.
So
Let's do it!
Okay, I'm here checking out a metal patch down here. There's iron, and that is off a hot water bottle, rubber hot water bottle, and I found this, and I didn't know what it was at first, but I can see it's got measurements on it there, all the way across, and it's a hinge, and Mum's just told me it's a ruler, well, a rule rather. You can see it was wood. There's wood in there. And yeah, it would have been a wooden ruler, but a wooden rule. It's technically a rule. And of course there was rotted away and just left the brass. So that's odd. Not found one of those before. And I think I found a bead down here. It's very crude. It's a very crudely made bead. It's either melted or it's some kind of handmade lampwork kind of bead. And it's another yellow one. I found 2 yellow ones in this exact same spot last time. Might be off the same necklace. So Mum actually picked this up, and it's an old like vintage tube of something. And I've just worked out what it says. It says cement for fixing leather to rubber to leather. That is a very specific glue. Very specific. Press from here. Oh, it's to stick your soles of your shoes on. Oh, of course. The rubber soles of your shoe to the leather boot. That makes sense. That makes sense of why it's that specific. It's quite interesting.
Down here is
Disappointing broken doll's arm there. And I found this, and I'm pretty sure it's an old lipstick. Look. Yeah, it's got a name on the end there. Look. Old tube of lipstick. I found that whole jar as well, and I see something over there that's underneath all these trees. This bush, this elderflower. So I might have to turn the camera off while I struggle through. Okay. So it turned out to be nothing. It's literally a broken like bottle stop, I think. So it's not worth taking. But I have found something down here. It's a little heart-shaped charm of some kind, yeah. It's a little heart-shaped charm. It's really delicate. And there are interesting things down there, but I can't physically get through the tree, so I might have to leave it for another day, or hope the tide washes some of this stuff out in the future. Okay, so my first find down here on the foreshore was this, and a few months ago we wouldn't have been able to tell you what this was, but we now know it's actually off the edge of a comb, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks to people in the comments.
Yeah.
All telling us what it was.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for telling us what it was.
Yeah.
So we know what that is now. I'm going to keep it just in case it's silver, even though it is a bit green.
Could be a lower quality silver.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it anyway, just in case it is silver. Got a little toy wheel as well, but what I've really wanted to show you is down here.
Yeah, what is
Look.
it? It's tantalisingly peeping out
Yeah,
of the mud.
just sticking out there. Is that some kind of military badge? Because we're
I
in
can see.
we're in a 1940s area of the tip, aren't we?
I can see lettering. I can see a star. Is it a star? What is it?
It military?
Oh.
World War. Oh, let's wash it off in the river. We don't want to rub it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll come back to you when we've washed it off.
Yeah. Okay. But it looks very exciting. Let's have a look.
Let's see.
Oh, I'll dry it on. Dry it on here.
Oh.
Oh, yes, it's some kind
pin
of
on the
badge.
back.
Yeah.
That looks like. I don't know.
Oh, look, it's made an impression. There. Look. There. Oh, it's like a wax seal. Right, what's it say? The St. John's Ambulance.
Oh wow.
The St. John's Ambulance Association.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is so cool.
That is fantastic. I love that.
What that is, I'm over the moon with that. I'm absolutely chuffed. That's brilliant, and that's going to clean up really well. And I'm really excited to look up the St. John's Ambulance Association.
You're going to find out all about that
right now.
About now.
We were very excited to find this badge because so often things like this have quite a story to tell. Our badge is, in fact, the cap badge off the uniform of a St. John's Ambulance Association volunteer and probably dates from around the time of the First World War. St. John's Ambulance has its roots in 11th century Jerusalem, where monks at the Benedictine Abbey treated pilgrims visiting the city. With the growing number of pilgrims, a hospital evolved, and being given independence by the Pope, developed into a religious and military order run by brothers and sisters who were known as Hospitallers of St. John, or Knights Hospitallers. Fast forward to 1877, when the St. John's Ambulance Association was first set up by the Venerable Order of St. John. In a newspaper article from 1877, it states, "The object of the St. John's Ambulance Service is to train those who volunteer their services in the elementary duties which would devolve upon times of war, and likewise to instruct them in dealing with cases of accident and infectious disease." And in an 1878 article, it is described as "for the purpose of affording instruction in the preliminary treatment of the sick and injured in time of peace, and of forming an available reserve to the Army Medical Department in time of war." These early statements seem to lean heavily towards a military purpose, which contradicts the modern idea that it was formed for the purpose of training factory workers in first aid. However, the association and its free training for men and women of all classes proved enormously popular, and in its first few years, thousands of training courses were advertised and attended all over the country. In 1887, trained volunteers were organised into a uniformed brigade to provide a first aid and ambulance service at public events. In 1968, they merged with St. John's Ambulance Association to form St. John's Ambulance. The 8-pointed cross is the same as worn by those first monks, and the lions and unicorns in between are the supporters of the royal coat of arms granted by the British Crown and indicate that St. John is a royal order.
Look at this and look at the colour of it. It's a marble. What a pretty colour. Cat's eye marble. I love that. Vintage marble. Probably dates 1940s, 1950s. Fantastic. So we bumped into Alan, and he very kindly gave us this little bottle.
Me again.
Yeah. But he's hurt his back, so he's having a bit of trouble. So we'll have to find all the treasures today. This looks like an old hot water bottle stopper. Alex has just mentioned hot water bottle. That's funny. It's a bit too far gone, but yeah, it's a hot water bottle stopper. And down here is a bead, and it's white, clay, probably of Christmas decoration string. They'd make these beads and cover them, not colour them, but the colour all came off, so that might be what that is. There's a bit of verdigris down here. What's that? Nothing. This looks like the end of a fork or spoon. Might have a nice pattern on it actually. So I might take that and clean it up and see if I can make something with it. There's Alex in the undergrowth.
I think I found a little marking ink bottle. Laundry marking ink, but a much later one than we usually find. There's another vintage bottle here as well. The lid's still on. Right, I don't know if any of this struggling has been worth it. It's an interesting looking bottle there, look. It's a little perfume bottle. It's got a crack in it though, sadly. Okay, I'm struggling. I'm struggling a lot here in the elderflower. No, it's an old shaving brush handle. Oh, wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Oh goodness. I'm hoping some of this struggling is actually going to pay off. I'm going to find something. Actually, I've already found something pretty good today, to be honest.
There's Alex struggling in the undergrowth still. She's seen something and she's going in for it. Collar stud. Can you spot it? And I know it's not a berry. Wrong time of year. It's a bead. A lovely orange bead. Yum. I think this was actually a horseshoe. Look at the size of that. It's very, very far gone. I think this might be an old post office bag seal. This little thing here, probably off something electrical.
Well, we've got a few fans down here, and we have been talking to a couple of local bottle diggers actually, and one of them very kindly gave us this amazing bottle, and it's matte textured. It's like it's been what do you call it? Sandblasted. That's what I'm looking for. It's like it's been sandblasted, and it says shaker cocktails, and it's obviously in the shape of a cocktail shaker. So that is really kind of him. We're going to look that up, and hopefully there might be some interesting history connected to that. Found a few other things down here. What's that? Oh look, it's a Scotsman. He's wearing a kilt. He's got a sporran and a sword there, look. But he's got knee heed. Again, they never do. They never do. Got this as well. I think this is the surround of a picture frame, and it's pressed brass. It's got patterns on it, look. And I found a whole bowl, a whole bowl here, which I'm going to keep to put my plant pots on. The plant pots we found in the tip, they need a dish to sit on in the house, so I'm going to take that. But some great finds, and I'm chuffed with this. We're chuffed with this. It's very kind of him to give it to us, so.
This unusual frosted glass bottle has shaker cocktails embossed upon it, with an outline image of itself. These bottles once contained ready mixed cocktails made by the well-known gin makers Gordon's. In an advertisement dated 1926, it describes them as Gordon's shaker bottle cocktails, perfectly mixed, ready to serve, made in the following recipes to suit all tastes: Piccadilly, Perfect, 50-50, Martini, Dry Martini and Manhattan. At Christmas, it was marketed as the Christmas gift cassette with handy fold-down front is made in 3 sizes containing 2, 4 and 6 shaker bottles of Gordon's cocktails. These cocktails were first produced in 1924. It is the early bottles that were frosted, so our bottle probably dates from the 1920s or 30s. The origins of Gordon's can be traced back to 18th century London, when Alexander Gordon opened a distillery there in the 1860s. Alexander was born in London in 1742, the son of merchant George Gordon and his wife Sarah Pearson. But poor Alexander didn't have a very happy start in life. His father George died in 1745 at the age of 30, when Alexander was only 3. 2 years later, his mother married Charles Mackay, a lieutenant in the navy of George II. But more heartache was on the horizon, because in 1753 Alexander's mother died, and agonizingly, only 1 year later his stepfather was to follow her to an early grave. Alexander, an only child, was now an orphan. Some say he was taken in by his grandfather, Alexander Gordon, who lived in Glasgow. In his will, Charles Mackay leaves young Alexander £400, which in today's money is equivalent to £40,000, to be held in trust until he attained the age of 21. A further £100 was put aside for his education, and to ensure that he was put to a suitable trade. So it is likely that he was sent to a boarding school and then apprenticed to a trade, probably in London. So Charles Mackay's legacy to his stepson may have been the stepping stone that started the Gordon's gin empire, because shortly after coming of age, Alexander could have used that money to start his distillery in London. The business went through many partnerships and was eventually left to Alexander's son Charles. It seems Charles lost a lot of money by selling shares and then having to fork out to the families of deceased shareholders. Charles's son, also named Charles, was next to inherit the business. Unfortunately, Charles Jr. showed little interest in distilling and was more interested in inventing things. In 1877, he sold the family business to John Curry & Co., staying on as a director. In 1898, Gordon's and Charles Tanqueray Limited merged to form Tanqueray Gordon & Co. Limited. When Charles died in 1899, so ended the Gordon ties to a business that had been in the family for over 130 years. Tanqueray Gordon & Co. was later swallowed up by the international conglomerate Diageo, who now own the company. There is often little accurate information online about the human story behind these modern faceless companies, so we are happy to be able to do the research and shine a small glimmer of light onto the past and bring these fascinating stories to you.
Oh, and actually, there's loads of bits of brass, but there's a bullet, the end of a bullet, look. It's the end of a 303 round. There's all sorts. Found a bead here. Have I? Yes, I have. It's like a little kind of beige kind of coloured one.
I've just seen something down here that looks suspiciously like a doll's pair of shoulders, but has it got a head? It has. It's got a head. Oh no, it's been burnt. It's been burnt. Oh, the poor thing. Oh no. Oh dear. We might be able to clean it up to a certain extent. But yeah, that looks pretty horrid. Yeah, that's some... yeah. Okay. Let's see what we can do with it.
There's a strange... oh, it's like a fork thing. Oh no, look. It's like a fish knife? Is that what it is? I think that's... no. Yes. A cheese knife. Fish knife. Right, I'm going to have to go and ask Mum because I'm not sure. I'm thinking cheese, but we're going to have to verify this. Oh, just as I get to her, look, it's a little doll's lid as well. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that's really cute. I love that.
So what I was going to ask you is, what kind of knife is that?
It's a fish
A
knife.
fish knife.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't sure if it's going to be fish or cheese, but it's a fish knife.
Fish
There you go.
knife, yeah.
That's what that is.
Nice find.
Isn't? I don't think we've ever found a whole one before, actually.
No.
So you know. So Mum's found a complete doll's head. I mean, she does look a little bit crunchy, a little bit burnt.
A little bit burnt.
She needs to go to the hospital, I think, with those kind of burns.
Yeah. We need to make a little hospital to put some of these dolls in.
We do. She needs some. She needs some TLC, I think. Still an interesting find, though. You know, even if she is a bit crispy.
Look at the size of this bottle. That is humongous and really heavy. I've never seen one like that before. So if anyone has any idea what that was or had in it, probably dates from about the 1950s maybe, 40s, 50s. Alex, can you see if there's a name or anything on the bottom?
Oh, it's hard to say. Oh, it's just a registration number.
Oh.
Yeah. Just what's that? No.
No.
I did find, it's funny you should say 1950s because I found this face.
Oh, yes.
And it kind of looks like Betty Boop.
Oh, yeah, it does
with the
a little
very
bit.
thin,
Yeah.
and the cheeks.
Could be. Yeah, it does.
And their eyebrows are very 1950s,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Although Betty Boop was a little bit earlier than that. Maybe
Was she, like 1940? Was she?
30s or 40s, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, the tip's around 30s, 40s, 50s, we think. So,
Yeah. Well, this part of it gets a little bit older, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit odd. Can you see that thing there? So the last time we were here, Mum found the tooth out of a pair of dentures, and I've just gone and found one as well. Look at that. It's a denture tooth. That is so random. It's actually chipped there, look. Oh, someone's chipped their tooth. That's so random. And I think the reason I recognise it is the back, is the hole in the back, because Mum found one and I kind of must have like subconsciously remembered what it looked like. Well, we've never found one before, and then we found two this year within a space of a couple of weeks. Funny like looking green thing here, and I think that's a bead. It's got a bit of a chip out of it, but yeah, look, there's a hole, it goes all the way through. Strange. I kind of recognise it. I have a funny feeling that Mum found a red one of these once. Funky bead. Funky feed, actually, yeah.
Here's another one of those things I found last time. Are they some sort of button? They're off something, obviously. If you know what these are. First thought it's the top of a tap, but they're a bit big. But yeah, something. Looks like a nice little mother of pearl button. That's cute. There's a tiny little blue tile. Make a good roof for a little house or something. I like it. That's a beautiful little bottle. How cute.
I spot another one down here as well. Been some digging, so looks like whoever was digging here has washed out some beads, dug out some beads. Yes, it's a clear one, a crackled one. And there's a vintage toothbrush. Yeah, some kind of early plastic. Oh, I'm not actually showing it. Yeah, there you go. Some kind of early plastic. Up here, I just spot something. And I'm pretty sure that's a wee leg, look. It's a little doll's leg. Oh, that's cute. It's similar to the arm I found before, but it's whole at least. Broken bone domino. You can see the brass pin still in there. Still no dice though. That's really what we're dying to find. Dice. And there's got to be some here somewhere. I wonder how many we've actually just walked over the top of and not seen. A wee bottle. A little vintage amber bottle, and I'm going to keep that. I recognise what this might be. Bit of shiny bit of black glass. Oh. Yes, look at that. It's a morning bead. Probably off a bracelet. See how it's got those double holes? Cool. Oh, we've also got a face. A doll's ear. That's half a doll's ear, so I might leave that behind actually. And this little bit of glass. I'm not sure what that is actually. It's really fine. So they're cool. I'm going to make a necklace out of that. Bit of doll face, look. Really bright blue pony bead there, look. Lovely. Little white one down there as well. See it, interesting looking bottle stop up there. And a strange ring shaped thing. I'm not sure what that is. And there's a button here. It's actually a curtain weight. We've got here a little baking bean. The usual domestic treasures that we find. But let's have a look at that stopper. I'm under the branches of the trees again, so I'm struggling. Let's try and reach it. Oh, there. Oh. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Oh, would you look at that? Not found one like that again. That's really pretty. Must have been out of a very pretty perfume bottle at one point in its history. Oh goodness. Who's this little chap down here? This cheeky chap. Oh look, it's a little like cherub. missing arms and missing a foot. Little naked cherub. Been waiting for me to pick him up.
Little tiny bottle there. It's got some iridescence. It's got something on the bottom I can't read. So I have to wait and see. Looks like double L I N. Bottle's just fallen out here. Is it blue? It looks blue, yes. I just said to myself, I want to find a little blue bottle. And here it is. I need to say that more often, don't I? I just said it. I want to find a little blue bottle. Thank you. I did find a little blue bottle. One of my favourite finds ever are little blue bottles. So there you go. And there's another bottle. What's that? Oh, that's quite nice. It's a nice little bottle. It's plain, but I like it.
I'm sure you can actually see it, but there is I think you can actually see it from here. There's a really bright red thing under there. I think it's a bead. But again, it's in the most awkward place. I'm not sure if I can reach from this angle. Let's see if I can squeeze it here. I'm not sure if it's a bead or a button or what. Oh. What's that? Something next to it. I don't know what that is. It's nothing. Okay, I've got it. Ah. Yes, look, it's a little button. It's a little cardigan button. That's cute. It's got a little pattern on it there. Pressed glass. It's very, very red. There's more black glass down here. And at first, actually, I found this tiny little faceted white bead. But there, look. Is it a bead? Yes, a faceted bead. I think it's glass.
I think I just found a whole cup. It's plain, but it's whole. How strange. Could put a plant in it. A whole cup.
Okay, so here they are, my final finds of the day. We've got a pipe bowl, a collar stud, 3 buttons, 2 glass, 1 bone, and a little bead, a little red bead as well. We're slowly making our way back now, so I think this is it. And it's been a pretty good day, I think.
And here are all our treasures laid out on the table for you to have another look at.
And some of these metal bits over here took some cleaning. So,
They don't always come up as nice as you'd like them to.
I couldn't scrub. It's too thin to kind of clean properly, that thing. And I'm not sure we can use it for anything, but I might be able to melt it into something.
Sort of the surround out of a picture frame, isn't it?
And this is EPNS, electroplated nickel silver, but the nickel silver plating is coming off.
No, it would be nickel silver, and then it would have the silver plating on top of it.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not the nickel silver coming off.
No, it's not the nickel silver coming off. It's the silver coming off the nickel silver. So yeah, it doesn't look great. And of course we found a lovely array of beads, which I'm really pleased with. But we've got our pièce de résistance. I don't know if I said that right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but this beautiful St. John's Ambulance Association badge, which is in fantastic condition.
It is. And you can see it has that slight curve on it, which means it's a cap badge.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And it polished it really well as well.
It did.
Just a little bit of a scrub and it just looks absolutely gorgeous.
And so much history behind it.
I know, and that's going to look great in our collection. I love finding cap badges.
And we have our doll parts, and this is a bit of a Burns victim, but it has its own unique character.
It would make an interesting doll. I think you should make that into a doll.
Yeah, I think I might.
Because we've got a few limbs that are a bit singed as well, you know.
Yeah, and we've got these. That's a very strange little face.
Yeah,
there's a lot of forehead going on there.
Little cupie. It would make a nice pendant.
And I think this might be Betty Boop.
Yeah, we think so.
Yeah, I really like that face.
And of course, we found some really pretty little bottles this week as well.
Oh, I just love them. These ones here, they're all ripply.
Yes.
And old
the
and
lovely. We've got a burst lip, an applied lip.
That's a nice little one. And this, I was just saying to myself before I found it, all I want to do is find a little blue bottle.
Yeah.
And there it was.
Look how crude it is. I love the crudeness. Look, it's wonky and like the glass is all ripply.
So beautiful.
And it's not perfectly kind of shaped either. It's a bit off.
And would have probably contained something poisonous, being blue.
Something you wouldn't want to eat.
And these are tiny, aren't they?
Yeah, a marking ink bottle, I think, but I'm not sure what this is. Some kind of medicine.
Probably pills, little tiny pills.
And we got a whole cup of saucer as well.
How amazing is this? Alex found the saucer.
Yeah.
And then I went along and found the cup.
And there's not a chip. Literally. Like, we've been around the not even the tiniest chip.
Yeah,
like,
when you
it's
think
perfect.
This cup's been thrown in the rubbish, taken to the rubbish dump, buried for 100 years, dug up by bottle diggers,
all washed
and then
out.
The bottle diggers refilled the hole using a bulldozer, and this cup survived. So it deserves to come home.
It does. And I found this dish which I was going to use as a plant pot, but a plant pot holder? Dish, you know, put a plant pot on. But look, they are like the perfect
it's a little
pair.
tea set.
Yeah. And they're completely plain, so...
What you could do is put a plant in the cup on the saucer.
Oh, yes. That would look cute, but there's no hole in. And it would be a shame.
You could put a plant pot, a small plant pot.
Oh, yeah, you could. But look how they're both completely plain. This wasn't plain. It had, like, rings around the edge, but they washed off. But they're crying out to be decorated, aren't they?
Yeah, so we might use that as a project.
Yeah. I think we've got a few cups and saucers we could decorate now. But anyway, don't want to waffle on too much. Let's talk about what our favourite finds are.
All right, so I know what your favourite find is.
My favourite find, of course, is the St. John's Ambulance cat badge. I really like this. It's really cool. And what about you?
Well, I like the history behind the Gordon's gin.
Yeah, and it's a really cool bottle.
And it's such an old family as well.
Yeah.
With an interesting history. And I could have gone on much more than I did, but of course I've got limited space. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. But I think my favourite has to be...
I had a sneaky
the
suspicion.
little blue bottle.
Yeah. Okay, so they're our choices for the Window of Wonders. I'll put it next to our meat juice bottle. Last week, surprisingly, a lot of you just really like this crystal.
Yeah.
To go in the Window of Wonders.
So there it is.
So there it is. And I'll put the badge here.
Oh,
is it focusing?
one thing we forgot to mention.
Oh yes, I just remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found this tooth, right? And the only reason I was able to spot it is because not too long ago, Mum also found one extremely similar.
I don't know how I spotted that amongst the pebbles.
It just looked like a little quartz pebble, didn't
Yeah.
it? And then, so I was able to recognise this because I'd seen that. Look at that. So they have holes in them to attach them to the vulcanite denture.
So we decided to start a tooth string.
Tooth string.
So we're going to thread that on there.
That's so funky. How crazy is that? We haven't quite got a collection yet. We need one more, and then we've got a denture tooth collection. And then maybe one day.
You're the first person to say that.
Yeah, and I think I might be.
A denture tooth bead string.
They're both molars as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should make a bracelet with them.
We'll
if we've got
probably
enough.
never find another one after this.
No,
so.
we probably won't. That'll probably be it. But anyway, oh yes, and we finally beaded our beads for this year. And look how many we have already.
Yeah, so far this year.
All the glass beads we found, and we put the clay beads on different bead string, and we also put our seed beads on a different bead string as well. There, look.
Yeah, those tiny treasures.
Yeah, look how mini. But yeah,
I love this orange one. It really stands out.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
That yellow one.
I like this one as well.
Fun.
Yes. Anyway, we're waffling on, aren't we? One last thing before we go.
Yes, talking about Gordon's gin. I have this amazing bottle. Look at this. This is an English gin bottle that was found in a shipwreck, and it dates from the late 17th to early 18th century. So
Isn't it
probably, well, it would have been around at the time that Alexander Gordon was starting his distillery in London.
Look.
It could actually be one of his bottles.
But look how cool it is. Look at that lip.
It is beautiful.
That's been free blowing, and it would have been shaped like this with paddles. And how cool is it? Look at all the bubbles and brilliant.
And it's called a case gin bottle because they fit into cases so that they wouldn't rattle around in the ships. Another thing I didn't mention in my story, that gin was very popular in the Royal Navy, and so they would have taken their gin with them. So it's probably how this ended up in a shipwreck.
It's like, there's a pigeon. So that was before, and this is after. But not completely after, because Gordon's gin's still going.
Yeah, that's 1920s.
It's 1920s, so you could actually buy all the different bottles, or find them, all the different kinds of gin bottles.
I'd love to find one of these. I bought that one.
Order.
I didn't find it.
No, we didn't find this. But yeah, anyway, but we have already talked too much, I think, haven't we, for the end bit?
So
we're going to leave it there.
Our table of wonders.
Okay, so it's been an incredible day down here by the river, and we found some incredible things for our collection. So
yeah, sure you'll agree. You've seen them all cleaned up.
Yeah,
but we haven't yet.
So we are chuffed with what we found today. So on that note, we're going to say goodbye and thank you. So great big thank you to everyone who has watched the video thus far, who has liked it and subscribed. And I don't know where the subscribe button is.
Somewhere down here there's a subscribe button. It's really important because we're trying to reach that magical 100,000.
We are.
And we might actually have a celebration when we do.
Yes.
Have a bit of a, surprise.
And we'd also like to thank our
patrons on Patreon who help to keep us going every month. We're so grateful for your help. And it really does help us to bring these videos to you. So
it does.
Thank you.
And so we'll see you again
next week.
Bye.